I want to give a special shout out to all my patrons, my Bibliosprand, Bibliohowlers, and Bibliomancers. Thank you so much for supporting my hobby and passion even more. It means so much to me. Hi everyone, Petrik here. Today's video will be my Christmas book haul or my December book haul. Usually in the last week of December, I don't receive any more books. So even though today is one day before Christmas, I thought I might as well share all the books that I got within this month with all of you. I know it's crazy, right? Only one more week before we enter 2023. Absolutely crazy how fast time flies. And I hope this little video of me talking about the books I got this month can make your day and holidays a bit brighter. So yeah, this month I got 19 books, and I will start by talking about the books that I got for myself first. And the first one is a manga volume, and this is the 6th volume in the Blue Lock series by Yusuke Nomura and Muneyuki Kaneshiro. I don't know if any of you are watching the anime adaptation right now of Blue Lock, and I think the anime adaptation is really good. But personally speaking, I think the manga is even better. This is the Indonesian translated edition, and yeah, this is one of my favorite manga series right now. I love this one so much. Whether you love sports or not, I think this one is worth taking a read. And if you watch some of the matches in the World Cup, Football World Cup, and every time Japan played and somehow won the group stage, the hype for Blue Lock, the hype for the manga Blue Lock and the anime Blue Lock was so intense. I love to watch that. And yeah, I highly recommend this manga. And speaking of manga, the next book that I got this month, the next book that I bought is another manga volume, and this is the 7th volume in Spy Family by Tatsuya Endo. This is again the Indonesian translated edition. I'm collecting both Spy Family and also Blue Lock in its Indonesian translated edition. And Spy Family, whether it's the manga or the anime, both of them are even more popular than Blue Lock, I think. And it's totally understandable. This one is very wholesome. So many people love Spy Family, and Anya is just Anya, Bon. Well, the Forger's family is just cherishable and wholesome. Love them all, and I will continue to collect this manga series in its physical format, something that I rarely do now. And the last manga volume that I got this month, this is for the 10th volume of Witch Hat Atelier by Kamome Shirahama. This is, well, I just finished 5 volumes of Witch Hat Atelier this month, and there's a lot of potential that this is going to become one of my favorite ongoing manga series. It's not there yet. I will have to mention though that the artworks are absolutely beautiful and pretty. There is no doubt about that. Kamome Shirahama, her artwork is insanely good. But as I said, I just finished 5 volumes in this manga series, and my plan right now is to finish the available 10 volumes within this month before we move on to the year 2023, and then I will talk about this manga in more details. But for now, I will just say that I love this manga series, and I'm collecting this one in its English translated edition. And now let's talk about the novels that I got this month, and the first one is The Spider by Leo Carriou. This is the second book in what's the title? Under the Northern Sky series, and I haven't heard too much about this series yet. I think Lian from Lian Library really loved this series, but that's pretty much all I know really. I haven't heard many people or anybody else talk about Under the Northern Sky, but I got this one on the discount, really cheap. I think I got this for $4 or $5, but yeah, so I thought I might as well get it, even though I haven't owned the first and the third book yet. But yeah, I will read this one someday. I'm not sure yet when, and hopefully when I get to reading this series, hopefully I will end up enjoying it. And it's not only The Spider that I got on a massive discount, and I got another 2 books with a huge discount, and this one is for 2 books by Elizabeth Bear. The first one is Shattered Pillars, which I think is the second book in the Eternal Sky trilogy, and I also got the sequel, the third book in the trilogy, which is A Stella's of the Sky. Now, I haven't heard too much about this series yet, but well, this cover art is done by Donato Giancola, which is one of my favorite artists, and I very rarely get a book with the cover art done by him. So when I saw that these 2 books were on a discount, yes, I don't own Range of Ghosts yet, which is the first book in the trilogy. When I saw that these 2 books are on a discount with this kind of cover art, this kind of beautiful cover art, I immediately bought them. And to make things even better, somehow this one, the third book in the trilogy, is signed, which is something super rare to get in my country. And yeah, take a look. This is signed by Elizabeth Bear herself. One day I will read this one. I haven't heard too much about this series yet. And if I'm not mistaken, this series is a historical fantasy trilogy. Hopefully I will end up loving this trilogy. And the last book that I bought for myself this month is Empire of Exiles by Erin M. Evans. So this one is supposedly a murder mystery involving a scribe, a mage, an archivist, and an investigator as the 4 unlikely heroes of the novel. And that sounds incredible and intriguing to me. Plus, I've heard many great things about this novel from some of my patrons and also from some of my trusted friends on Goodreads. But not gonna lie, one of the main reasons why I end up getting Empire of Exiles is because this book has the map done by Francesca Bellart. And in my opinion, she is the best cartographer in the entire fantasy genre. I love her map so much. And it is kind of shocking to me that not too many publishers or also self-published fantasy authors have hired Francesca Bellart to do their maps, because look at this. I mean, take a look at this. This is just insane. And you know what? It is not often that I request for a physical arc now. It is very rare because my TBR pile is immense. It is so immense, it is practically infinite now. It is so hard to get to the bottom of my TBR pile. But for this particular book, now this is the finished copy, but I'm going to be talking about the book that I got from publishers this month. And I got 2 books, and the first one is the one that I requested from Orbit Books, Orbit Books US, and it is for the physical copy, physical advanced reading copy of Empire of Exiles by Erin M. Evans. Just take a look at this. This one features a cover art with a map done by Francesca Bellart. Look, it is so beautiful. It is super stunning. I cannot resist this. And thankfully, Orbit actually allowed me to get a physical copy of this one. So thank you so much to Orbit US for sending me a physical arc of this one, even though, well, the book is out now. But I promise I will definitely read and review this one next year in 2023. Hopefully, I will end up loving this one. And the last book that I got from traditional publisher this month is For the Girl and the Moon by Mark Lawrence. This is the UK hardcover edition with the cover art done by Jason Chan. So I won this one actually on a giveaway that I won about 6 or 7 months ago. Now, the book didn't actually take that long in transit for it to arrive to my place, but apparently when I won the giveaway, the publicist that actually chose me quit already. So that's why this book hasn't been sent to me until I emailed another person on Harper Voyager. So thankfully, they sent this one to me. Now I own the UK hardcover for The Girl and the Stars and also The Girl and the Moon. But, well, I don't have The Girl and the Mountain yet, which is the second book in the series. And it is hard. It is hard to get the UK hardcover of The Girl and the Mountain now. Hopefully, I will be able to get it one day and complete my collection of the trilogy. I've read only the first book. I haven't continued with the series yet, but I've heard from plenty of people who felt lukewarm about the first book, just like I did. They mentioned that this one definitely redeemed the trilogy, and many readers have actually mentioned that this is Mark Lawrence's best work. So hopefully once I have a copy of the UK hardcover of The Girl and the Mountain, I will continue with the trilogy. Probably reread The Girl and the Stars as well. So I have talked about the books that I bought for myself, I have talked about the books sent to me by traditional publishers this month, and now it's time to talk about the books sent to me by a Secret Santa, who is one of my co-bloggers. We, the people at Novel Notions, always do a Secret Santa annual event every year, and this year I got 2 books from the same person, Celeste. Now Celeste is a book talker, so if you have a TikTok, make sure to check out her TikTok. And this month she sent me Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. I think that's how to pronounce the name. I've watched only the adaptation of The Little Prince, but I haven't read this little book yet. But well, so many readers around the world love The Little Prince, and well, I love the adaptation, the animated movie adaptation of The Little Prince, and hopefully I will love the book as much as the movie adaptation, maybe even more. Plus, The Little Prince is only about 100 pages long, so I'm sure that I can get this done in one day. But Celeste was super kind, and this is not the only book that I got. She got me another book, and it is, hold on, this is a big one, and it is the Omnibus edition, the Omnibus hardcover illustrated edition of the Books of Earthsea by Ursula K. Le Guin, with an illustration done by Charles Vess. Now, I haven't started reading the Books of Earthsea yet. I have talked about this in my priority series video, and the Books of Earthsea is one of my priority series to start and finish next year. And I'm really glad that Celeste got me this Omnibus hardcover edition. I mean, take a look. This is massive, and the artworks inside, they look absolutely beautiful. I pretty much heard mostly amazing things about the Books of Earthsea from people who have read the series. And as I said in my priority series video, my first encounter with the story told in the books of Earthsea is through the Studio Ghibli adaptation of this book, and that one was not well done in my opinion. And I know that I haven't read the book, so I cannot make an accurate assessment, but well, I was just so bored with the movie, and that's something super rare in the Studio Ghibli movies, because I tend to love everything that is done by Studio Ghibli, but yeah, the books of Earthsea is not it. Hopefully the books will be much better. So thank you so much to Celeste once again for sending me The Little Prince and also this one. And once again, if you have a TikTok and you want to follow an adult fantasy book talkers, a great one at that, well, follow Celeste. And now moving on to the last section of this Christmas book haul, and it's time to talk about the self-published fantasy book that I received from authors. And the first one that I want to show is the first two books in the Star Children saga by Palmer Pickering. And this is Moon Deeds and also Light Fighter. Palmer Pickering was super kind enough to send me these two books after I actually tried to join the giveaway hosted by Kitty G. And yeah, Kitty G mentioned many great things about this series. And that's pretty much the first time I heard about this series, really. And as I said in my Priority Series video, after taking a break from sci-fi and space opera pretty much the entirety of this year, I've been craving to read more sci-fi novels again, and I'm glad to have these two copies. Hopefully I will be able to get to this series next year. I think this one is a trilogy, there is only one book left, but these are not the only two books that I got from Palmer Pickering. I also got another book, and it is called Heliotrope. So this one, I think, is the author's first epic fantasy novel. I don't know too much about Heliotrope yet, but whether it's the Star Children saga or this one, even though relatively not too many readers have read them, but those who have actually loved the Star Children saga and also Heliotrope. So right now, I don't know whether I will get to this one first or Star Children saga, but eventually I will read them all eventually. Thank you so much to Palmer Pickering for sending me 3 books. And then the next self-published fantasy book that I got is another copy of The Severing Sun by Von Roycroft. So I have talked about this book already on my channel plenty of times, but I heard about this one first from Philip Chase. And I think if some of you remember, well, I already own a physical copy of this one sent by the author as well. Here, now I own 2 copies. So why 2 copies? Apparently the first one, I didn't notice there was a printing error. After chapter 8, it wasn't chapter 9, it was chapter 14. And well, the author was super kind enough to actually send me another copy, even though I already told him not to do it. And the author insisted on me getting another copy with the right printing. So here it is. Honestly, those self-published fantasy authors are some of the kindest and generous people. I mean, sending a review copy to my place, even once, is already expensive. But this one, well, he's sending me twice, and the book is still at risk of me not liking it. Hopefully I will love it though, because usually books that Philip Chase love, usually I end up loving them too. So thank you so much to Vaughn for sending me another copy of The Severing Sun, and yes, I will read and review this one in 2023. And here's another proof that some self-published fantasy authors are just super kind. JCM Byrne, the author behind Hybrid Helix, sent me all 3 hardcover of the Hybrid Helix so far. So this is Wistful Ascending, Return of the Griffin, and Blood Reunion, the 3rd book in this series. So this is the first book, Wistful Ascending, and also this one is Return of the Griffin. Look at it. All the cover art are done by Chris McGrath, and this is my favorite of them all. Speaking of the cover art, this is Blood Reunion. I think the cover art, all of them looks great. And if you check the Goodreads page for this one, even though relatively not too many readers have read this series yet, all of them gave highly positive ratings to this series. And I know that Andrew from Andrew Wizardy Reads have talked and praised the Hybrid Helix series so many times. It is also how I found out about this series. I will keep my fingers crossed that I will at least start reading this series next year. So I will hopefully read the first book, Wistful Ascending, in 2023. And maybe, I don't know, maybe I will end up reading the available 3 books so far. And finally, the last self-published fantasy book I got this month, and also the last book that I got in the month of December and the end of my Christmas book haul, and it is The King Must Fall by Grimdark Magazine. So this is a collection of short stories or novellas by many authors. I think 19 authors. This is a Grimdark Magazine anthology, and as stated in the front page of the book here, this anthology features stories from Bradley Beaulieu, Anthony Ryan, Adrian Tchaikovsky, Anna Smith-Park, Cameron Hurley, Daniel Polanski, Trudy Canavan, Justin Cole, and many more. I know that other authors like Michael Fletcher, one of my favorite Grimdark fantasy authors, Anna Stevens, Sean Spickman, Devin Madsen, and Matthew Ward are also involved in this anthology, and I look forward to reading all of them. Also, this hardcover is gorgeous. It is done and produced through a Kickstarter campaign, and the result is brilliant. This cover art is done by Felix Ortiz. This is the spine, and the design is done by Sean King, the famous duo of the self-published fantasy community. And take a look at this. This is the front page. It features the cover art done in black and white. And then this is another front page. Look at this. This is edited by Adrian Collins, Mike Myers, and also Sarah Chorn. Or maybe Sarah Korn. Sorry if I mispronounced the name here. And to make things even better, every short story, every title in this book begins with an artwork at the top of the title done by Carlos Diaz. See, this is, for example, this one is for the story What You Wish For by Devin Madsen, and this is the artwork by Carlos Diaz. And every title inside this anthology begins with their own specific unique arts done by Carlos Diaz. And yeah, I look forward to reading this one. I remember reading Evil is a Matter of Perspective by Grimdark Magazine, and I had a great time reading that anthology. I found many great authors from that anthology as well, and I hope that this will be the same case for me reading The King Must Fall. Thank you so much to Grimdark Magazine for sending me a beautiful hardcover copy of this one. I will try to read this one, but no promises. Same as the other books that I just mentioned on this book haul video, I will try to read The King Must Fall in 2023 as well. Apparently that's not the last book mail of this month. After I recorded this video, 3 more books came, and the first 2 are The Skin and The Pack by J.E. Hannaford. This is the first and the second book in the Black Hind's Wake duology, if I'm not mistaken, and the cover art looks beautiful. This is a self-published fantasy books, and just like Hybrid Helix by J.C.M. Byrne that I showcased earlier, this hardcover doesn't come with a dust jacket, and I think this one, the first book at least, revolves around Selkie. I think I can assume safely that this is a historical fantasy duology with a deep folklore implemented into the narrative. I look forward to reading this one as soon as I can. And lastly, this time, this is really the last book mail in today's video, and this one is for The Purple Prince by Sebastian Menkes. This is the first book in the River Dream series, and this book was sent to me from Iceland all the way to my place in Indonesia. I think that is awesome. So thank you so much to Sebastian Menkes for sending me this beautiful hardcover that was published through Kickstarter. And also, the first time I heard about The Purple Prince, it was from Jimmy Nutt's review of this book. Fortunately, Sebastian Menkes also approached me on that video and asked me whether I would love to read and review this book. And of course, I said yes to it. Not only the hardcover alone is beautiful with a few interior character artworks, but the book mail or the package also comes with a map and also few artworks of the 6 gods inside this series. I am so looking forward to reading this one, probably within 2023. So that's pretty much it. That's the end of today's book haul video. That's the end of my Christmas and December book haul. There are still plenty of books that haven't arrived to my place, but if they somehow arrive at the last week of December, I will have to move them into my January book haul. But usually no books arrive at the last week of December. Not to my place anyway. But anyway, I just want to say thank you so much to all of you who watch my video. I hope you get something out of watching this book haul. And because this is the last book haul video of the year, I just want to say thank you so much to all publishers, also published fantasy authors, and all people, whether it's my patrons or my friends who gave me books this year. I will always treasure every one of them. And hopefully for the one that I haven't read, sooner than later, I will get to reading and reviewing every one of them. Seriously, thank you so much for everything. And for those of you who are watching this right now, thank you so much for always watching my videos. Thank you for leaving a comment. And do tell me what books you got in the month of December. Hopefully you had a great holiday. And my next video will be about the updated completed fantasy series, my favorite completed fantasy series video, updated as of 2022. And then after that, I will talk about all the best books that I read within this year. As always, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your support. Bye bye. Lastly, I want to say thank you so much once again to all my patrons who keep on supporting me.